Good afternoon and welcome to the Sunshine Report. I am Omoshiliola Adesoye Ajayi. The Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, is among dignitaries attending the coronation of Senator Rasheed Ladoja, former governor of Oyo State, as the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land. The event, which attracted President Bola Tinubu as well as other political leaders, traditional rulers and community figures from across the country, began with traditional rites at Osemeji Temple and Ojaba before climaxing at the historic Mapo Hall, where Governor Seyi Makinde presented Oba Ladoja with the staff of instrument of office. Also in attendance were Senator Ipikunle Amosu, former governor of Ogun State, and his predecessor Otunba Gbenga Daniel, among others. Residents of Ibadan described the occasion as historic, noting that the installation of Oba Ladoja marked a significant milestone in the city's traditional and cultural calendar. Ondo State has begun its activities to mark Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary with the Jumat service and the Central Mosque in Akure. The week-long celebration, as announced in a circular by the Permanent Secretary of the Political and Economic Affairs Department, will feature a series of events designed to honor the country's journey since independence. On Sunday, September 28th at 10 a.m., a special Thanksgiving service will hold at the chapel of the Annunciation Archbishop Viney College of Theology, Akure. The highlight of the celebration is the Independence Day parade scheduled for Wednesday, October 1, 2025 at the Gani Fawemi Arcade, Ibatoro Road, Akure, starting at 10 a.m. The state government, through the circular, enjoined principal government officers, commissioners, boards, agencies, members of the House of Assembly, judiciary officials, and local government heads to participate fully in the commemorative events. The Ondo State government has reaffirmed its commitment to policies that promote inclusivity, accessibility, and equal rights for the deaf community. This assurance came at the opening of the 2025 International Day of Sign Language and the second Deaf Awareness Week celebration organized by Ondo State Association of the Deaf in Akure. Osrc's Adewumi Taiwo reports that this year's theme is No Human Rights Without Sign Language Rights.
Founded in 1992, Osrc has grown to over 3,242 members across the state, advocating policies that address the needs of the deaf community and strengthen social inclusion. The celebration stressed the importance of sign language as a human right and a bridge to close the communication gap between the deaf and hearing populations. Chairperson of Osrc, Patricia Akinyemi, called on the state government to scale up policy interventions for the deaf community, while commending the recent recruitment of some of their members into the Teaching Service Commission.
Automatic employment should be given to deaf members of our association into senior and junior positions in the state civil service. 2. Deploy sign language interpreters in government offices, hospitals, banks, police stations, and television stations, especially on Osrc TV for deaf viewers. 3. Release the approved fund for Shepherd 2000 Day of Sign Language, IDSL, which have remained unreleased up to now.
Guest speaker Mike Ologbese stressed that government policies must make provision for interpreters and establish centers for teaching and learning sign language to foster inclusivity.
If only they know sign language, they will not be able to communicate with the outside world, and it will be a kind of short shade for them. So that for them, sign language for everybody.
Representing the governor, Senior Special Advisor on Union Matters, Bola Taiwo, assured that the government would integrate Osrc's request into its development agenda and reaffirmed support for policies that empower the deaf.
And the interpreters are very minimal. They are very minimal. We need to encourage the government to bring more, to train more interpreters.
Also speaking, the chairperson of the Association of Sign Language Interpreters, Ondo State Chapter, Mrs. Oluwaseun Oje, urged society to embrace sign language learning while commending the governor for his open-door approach to disability inclusion.
I'm happy that we have a governor that has here to listen to all. He's a caring man. So I want to beg you, on behalf of the deaf people on those states, please, they should make opportunity of work or support to those that need it.
The event showcased the vibrancy of deaf culture and reaffirmed sign language as a fundamental right central to achieving inclusive governance and social equality. Adewumi Taiwo, Osrc News.
Students of Ijapo High School, Akure, have elected new prefects into various positions for its 2025-2026 academic session. The announcement of the new students' leadership came after a free and fair election conducted in line with the INEC style of voting at general and state elections. Osrc Joy Pius reports that the initiative, in collaboration with Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission (INEC), aimed to introduce young minds to the voting process and build an early interest in democracy.
No fewer than 17 students of Ijapo High School, Akure, keenly contested their favorite prefectship positions for the 2025-2026 academic session. The candidates were painstakingly selected based on their character, academic performance, and antecedents before being presented to both staff and students for election. The candidates had earlier rolled out well-planned manifestos after days of rigorous electioneering, soliciting the support of fellow students. The election, which was conducted in a way similar to Nigeria's national and state elections, had the students participating in voting for positions such as senior prefect, boy and girl, health, social, labor, library, chapel, and sports prefect. With a population of 2,402 students, about 1,000 delegates were chosen to vote. The prefectship election, which held in the school premises, followed due electoral processes, which included voter accreditation, ballot casting, sorting, and vote counting. Having scored the highest votes for the position of senior boy and girl, the returning officer for the 2025-2026 elections, Reverend Canon Shola Adekonle, announced Jesu Bemiga Ogunshui with 500 votes and Olajumoke Amos with 457 votes, the winners and senior prefects of Ijapo High School, Akure.
I'll make sure I make it easy for them to approach the teachers, because that's one of the things that makes students fail. Because if they are not able to approach their teachers, they will fail.
We must be disciplined socially, academically, environmentally, and this is what I'm going to be working with other prefects for us to achieve discipline in order for us to have a good name.
The school principal, Fadikemi Jogbodo, said the initiative will help produce responsible adults and leaders for the nation.
The students already made up their mind that this and this are the people that we are going to vote for. It has opened the mind and the eyes of my students that they are free to perform their civic rights. We told them that nobody should bribe them, nobody should buy biscuits for them, and that's why we said nobody should campaign in the classes. All the campaign should be done on the assembly ground so that it will be on a level ground. After the election, all the contestants up themselves. That is the spirit of sportsmanship. That's the spirit of election. That shows that even with the election, they don't have anything against themselves.
Head of Departments, Voter Education, Publicity, Gender and Inclusivity, INEC, in Ondo State, Yinka Ogunsheye, said the Catch Them Young initiative is part of its mission to develop responsible future citizens who understand and value democratic processes.
They must have been well informed about what is election, how do you do election, how do you register. You see today, we did accreditation and voting. We use their class list to do accreditation. So by the time they come of age, they will have imbibed the spirit, the tenets, so to say, of democratic election.
They were urged to collaborate the school administrators to transform the citadel of learning for the next 1 year, with calls to other schools to adopt the model. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Piracy, the unauthorized use or reproduction of copyrighted materials, poses a significant threat to creators, industries, and the economy. With the rise of digital content and the ease of reproduction, piracy has become a pressing issue, raising concerns about its ripple effects on authors and publishers. In this report, Osrc's Joy Pius examines the growing trend of book piracy on enforcement efforts in Ondo State.
Over the years, Nigeria has been grappling with book piracy, the unauthorized distribution of copyrighted literary works
in both printed and digital form. This menace threatens authors, publishers, and the literary industry at large. It erodes writers' rights, results in huge financial losses, and undermines the value of creative work, affecting the publishing industry's sustainability. Piracy also fuels job losses in publishing and floods the market with substandard low-quality books. According to the Nigerian Publisher Association, pirates control about 70% of Nigeria's book market, while a university study revealed that over 85% of students admit to using pirated books or journals. In 2023, the Nigerian Copyright Commission seized pirated books valued at more than 300 million naira at Onne Port and has confiscated over 9 million pirated copies nationwide in recent years. To curb the practice, the Copyright Act 2022 strengthened penalties and gave copyright officers wider powers to act against infringement. In Ondo State, the government recently declared that pirated books will no longer be acceptable in public and private schools, a move aimed at protecting intellectual property and improving education standards. Enforcement agencies are also stepping up their game. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, working with the Copyright Commission, recently clamped down on bookshops in Akure suspected to be selling pirated materials, a signal that authorities are paying closer attention to the trade in the state. In Akure, a student, Joy Gospel, shared her experience purchasing a pirated book and the repercussions she faced.
Actually, when I was in secondary school, I had that same situation that my book was pirated, and my teacher was telling me that it's only your book that is different from the whole class, so it's pirated copy. So I feel like they don't sell pirated copy with the original copy, they sell everything together. I just feel like if you know the best shop to just buy your things, you should advise people, because that time I was shamed though in school, like everybody's book was, and that's like a different pattern of their own book, and my own book was different from everybody, so it was just as if sometimes they will not want to use my own book because it is pirated. So I feel like the government should do something about it, or the manufacturers of those books should do something about it.
The spokesperson for Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) in Ondo State, Daniel Aidamembo, said the Corps is committed to enforcing laws and raising public awareness on intellectual property rights. He stressed that offenders face stiff consequences, including fines, lawsuits, and possible imprisonment, urging the public to report suspicious activities.
As a genuine entrepreneur, when you produce, there are some people who are sabotaging your efforts, duplicating what you produce, selling it at a cheaper price. The money is coming to them, and you are not getting the royalty from your sweat. And just somebody is just there, enjoying it. So, the law actually criminalizes this. You can be imprisoned, and you can also be fined at the same time.
Although detailed figures for Ondo State seizures are not yet available, authorities confirmed that several arrests and shop closures have taken place across the state, especially in Akure. Piracy remains a multifaceted challenge affecting creators, industries, and the economy. Strengthening public awareness and promoting respect for intellectual property are essential to protect Nigeria's literary future. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
The September edition of monthly sanitation exercise will hold across Ondo State tomorrow. The General Manager, Ondo State Waste Management Authority, Mr. Adekunle Olajumbo, said the exercise will run with restriction of human and vehicular movements between 7 and 10 in the morning. He said anyone caught violating environmental law would face the full wrath of the law, while urging residents of the state to use the period to clean their surroundings. Olajumbo assured of Governor Aiyedatiwa's commitment to a better, cleaner and hygienic environment. Facilities at Igbaraoke General Hospital in a federal local government area of Ondo State are functional and actively serving patients, contrary to recent reports in the media. Prompted by the publications, Osrc's Joy Pius went on a fact-finding mission to the facility and reports that the claims of neglect and failing infrastructure are misleading.
Iroyin General Hospital serves as a vital healthcare hub for Ifedore and neighboring communities in Ondo, Ekiti and Osun states. A tour of the hospital as part of Osrc's verification visit revealed well-equipped departments, a clean environment and reliable power supply, backed up by over 40 solar panels. At the Accident and Emergency Department, which doubles as the General Output Section, staff were seen attending to patients with stretcher and wheelchair available for use. In the maternity ward, the cry of a newborn signaled a recent delivery, an indication of the hospital's ongoing active service. Patients commended the quality of healthcare and commitment of the hospital staff.
Hospital Igbaraoke Dagon, woman tete attend this watabawa. Àwọn nọ́ọ̀sì òfìṣẹ́ wọn ṣeré rárá kò sígbà àkọ́kọ́ tá a wá tí ò sí dọ́tà àbí tí ò sí oògùn.
Mo ti máa wá bí dáadáa mo ní pé àtúntò wọn bí a ṣe ń tọ́jú wa dáa oògùn wọn bára láàmú ọmọ ká bá ti ṣe bàkan màá ní ẹ̀sùn níbẹ̀ yẹn lè ìjọba ló lé hospital yẹn ṣe pé ìjọba ẹ̀ ṣe hospital tẹ́yà lè máa bẹ̀rù kó máa doubt àwọn dókítà tó lè wá bẹ̀ wọ́n ṣe dáadáa.
Head of Nursing Services, Modupe Olufumilayo, debunked the reports of dysfunction, explaining that trained professionals are on ground and government supports complemented by community efforts keep the facility running effectively.
We have more than enough staff and they are all licensed to practice in their various fields. As I'm talking now, we have like 27 nurses, competent, trained, licensed nurses. We have 7 doctors in the facilities and they are working. The government employed every one of them. And concerning the equipment, they said, we have equipment. The government of Governor Aiyedatiwa is really trying for the health sector. We are not lacking in every area. As you are entering the facility, I believe you can see our ambulance there. is working 24 hours. If you get to the ward now, we have our patients there. 2 of them delivered over the night. ANC is in good order. Our laboratory is in good order. We are not lacking anything. We are not lacking personnel, and we are not lacking equipment. The light is serving us. We have 3 sources of light here. We have one inverter for the admin that is serving the admin. We have one at the general ward that is serving the whole hospital. We have our standby. This is our generator room there. We have lights too. In case, and we even did some sub inverter into the wards in case this one went off, because maybe there's no much favorable weather for the charging. So we switched to the one we have in the ward, and at times we do use generator. We have everything.
At the pharmacy, department head Esther Otonla confirmed that drugs are procured monthly and are available for patients, dismissing the claims of shortages.
This month alone, we have bought a drug of 1 million plus. Last month, the same thing, 1,300,000 plus. So that's why I used to buy the drug every month from Ondo State, Odisima. This is our sales for every month. Like the month of August, we sold drug of 1,620,850 for the month of August alone. And in July, we sold 2,030,300. In June, we sold a total drug of 2,488,950. Even in this month of September, we make sales every day. So there's no time we don't have drugs.
While the hospital management and patients have urged the public to disregard misleading media reports, they also urged the need for a facelift at the hospital entrance and the replacement of an old delivery van. In a statement, Commissioner for Health, Banji Ajaka, affirmed the hospital's effective operations, admitting that, like many public health facilities nationwide, improvements are ongoing through reforms and partnerships to better serve residents. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
And to reduce malaria cases, Ondo State government started distributing over 3.6 million insecticide-treated mosquito nets to households across the state. But concerns are growing that some of the free nets are being sold illegally. Blessing Obe reports.
Malaria remains one of the world's most pressing public health threats, a leading cause of sickness and death in Africa. Nigeria carries the heaviest burden globally, accounting for 27% of malaria cases and 37% of deaths. Children under 5 and pregnant women are the most vulnerable. To tackle this, the Ondo State government, in partnership with the National Malaria Elimination Program and Malaria Consortium, launched a mass distribution of insecticide-treated nets across the 18 local government areas of the state. Feed workers in malaria-branded uniforms move door to door, registering families and handing out nets. The campaign manager for the distribution in Ondo State, Abiodun Ojo, says progress has been steady, stressing that insecticide-treated nets remain one of the most effective tools for preventing malaria.
For distribution, we have a training of the various campaign personnel, which help in distributing this net across all the 2 or 3 wards in the state. And after the training, there was also another level of training for the people at the LGA level, because we want this net to reach also the grassroots. So basically, it's 8-day distribution to cover 1.2 million households with 3.6 million nets. When you connect the nets, you have to hear it for 24 hours under the shade. After hearing for 24 hours, then you now bring it to your bed space, hang it to your bed space. You put it in the 4 cardinal points of your bed, and when you want to sleep under it, you ensure that you tuck it in.
The usage of the mosquito nets, aside from the prevention of malaria, which claims so many lives globally, especially for pregnant women and children, you understand. So it will also reduce the transmission of that infection, of this disease entity.
Residents welcome the exercise, calling it a crucial step in protecting households against malaria.
Thanks so much to the governor. We really appreciate for the gift because it's free. So because we want to go and buy it now, it's almost 4,000 or 5,000 naira that they are selling it, but they give us free of charge that we should be using it.
However, reports suggest that some of the free nets are being sold illegally. Malaria Consortium's Demand Creation Advisor Dr. Olubumi Ojelade explains that some households inflate their family size to collect extra nets, which they later sell.
It's unfortunate that this is happening. We want people at home to understand that, number one, insecticide-treated nets, ITNs, are meant to prevent us from getting malaria. And that malaria is still a serious matter in Nigeria and serious matter in Ondo State. If you bring 10 people together in Ondo State, you have at least 3 of them having malaria. And not everybody is seeking the right treatment for malaria. If you know this is important, you won't collect something that will prevent you from disease, and then the next thing is that you're going to trying to sell it. And then we also see people using them to cover gardens. Gardens are not infected by malaria. So there is no reason why we should cover our gardens with nets. So what we have been doing is continuous engagement with the community members, like just like what we are doing now. Please, people at home, have this understanding. The net is meant to prevent you from malaria. Don't sell and don't buy. The nets have been given out free of charge to every household in Ondo State.
Authorities are warning that the nets are not for sale, urging residents to put them to proper use in safeguarding lives. The campaign comes at a critical time as health experts warn of a possible resurgence of malaria driven by climate change and rising insecticide resistance. Blessing Obe, OSRC News.
And that's Social Report. Thank you so much for watching. Good afternoon.